Browns-Bengals tonight. Now, I don't know if what I'm about to ask you, it may sound ridiculous. I admit it. It may be very prisoner of the moment-ish. And maybe it's just reflects either how high I am on one and how down I am on the other. But after one start, a loss at that, from Joe Burrow in his career, right now, today, you starting a team, you rather have Burrow or Baker?
But I don't think it's that ridiculous of a question.
It's not? Okay, I'm relieved.
No,
Thank you.
I don't. No, because, Baker was a surprise. If you go back, he was a surprise #1 overall pick at the time. And he had a good rookie season. Then he kind of fell apart in year 2. So, I'd say right now I would go with Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow, because Baker was great. Baker was accurate in college. He had some really terrific numbers, and he's got that charisma that you want to see from a quarterback. But I think Joe Burrow was a better college prospect. I know just 1 year of insane production at LSU, but I think he was a better college guy projecting to the pros than Baker Mayfield was. Fewer questions with Burrow than with Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
And I just kind of roll with Joe Burrow too. I just like his whole thing.
Yeah, no, Joe's that dude. No, but I'll say this though. Look, they lost that game against the Chargers. They shouldn't have, because an OPI on A.J. Green on what would have been the game-winning touchdown, I believe, ended up missing the field goal. He looked great in that 2-minute drill. Looked great on that touchdown run. Obviously, we know how he looked coming out of LSU and what people have had to say about him this offseason. So I would lean more toward Burrow, not based off what I've seen from him, but just what I haven't seen from Baker Mayfield, which is a transcendent guy. You know what I mean? I haven't seen a guy, they're both #1 overall picks. I just haven't seen a guy. I saw a guy that was taken by a team #1 overall. Listen, this is not revisionist history. I felt like this when they took it, to your point about it being a surprise, when they took him. I felt like that was a guy that they were taking, like, we got to take a quarterback because we've missed on so many quarterbacks, or as the case may be, passed on so many quarterbacks in the past that, all right, this is the best one of this group in our estimation. So we're gonna take Baker Mayfield, says John Dorsey, who's no longer there. And so, it's like, I just don't know that he's the guy that can bring out the best in his teammates. I had a lot of questions about him coming out of Oklahoma. Those questions have not been answered. If anything, they've been exacerbated in the pros. So but then part of me, man, just feels like, is that his fault? Because every quarterback and every coach and every GM that comes through that organization seems to suffer the same fate. And so I'm almost like, is Baker, does he have shortcomings, or is he just not capable of rescuing this franchise from its curse? I don't know.
Well, you know what? Since you went here already, you're going here. And I didn't plan to go here right now, but, it's on my mind. So you brought it up. You brought up the Browns. And in both of us are big-time Madden fans. Maybe too much so, right? Right?
Yeah.
Can we tell the truth? Can we tell the truth here?
Yeah.
Too much.
We spend a lot of time in franchise mode.
I'm going to tell on you a little bit. You still maybe spend a little too much time on it. Yeah, a little too much time.
I mean, I might, download the online draft classes and,
it's crazy.
I may dabble a little bit and try to turn some teams around here and there,
I back in the day,
it's my release.
I used to just give away systems just to protect myself. I gave a couple to my nephews. I gave one to like some random kid. I just met this kid. I was like, hey, you want a PlayStation? I just gave it to him because I needed to get it out of my life. I was spending too much time on it. But I'm going to go franchise mode on you, real time. Okay, I want you to think about this, seriously. Real time, franchise mode. You mentioned the Cleveland Browns, and we know what kind of problems they've had. If I make you, I give you executive power. You're the general manager, head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Your lips to God's ears. Yeah.
You cannot get rid of the owner. That cannot be part of your answer. The owner is there.
That's unfortunate.
You got power. Franchise mode, Cleveland Browns. What would you do? What would you do with the Browns to turn that situation around if you had?
All right. So in fairness, and this is why you don't leap to conclusions after one start. So like in fairness, man, they got the brakes beat off of them by maybe the best roster in the NFL. All right. I mean, the Ravens are a Super Bowl favorite for a reason. So, you know, Baltimore had their way with them in week 1. I really like what the Browns did this offseason. I'm not trying to avoid the question, but what I wouldn't do is blow it up, because they blow it up so frequently. They hit the reset button, going back to franchise mode. You think that they're in franchise mode because they're constantly hitting reset. I would pick a course and I would stay it, whatever that course is. I thought they did a great job this offseason of upgrading their offensive line. I thought they did an awesome job adding some pieces on defense. They had, you know, the unfortunate injury to Grant Delpit, the LSU safety, who I loved, who I thought would have been a difference maker in the back end. So, if anything, I would stay I would pick a course and stay it for longer than a year or two. That means keeping a coach in place, keeping a front office in place, and keeping a quarterback, because this was thrown out today. What if week 1 was a sign of things to come for the Browns this year? And if you have a new GM and a new coach that did not draft Baker Mayfield #1 overall, and let's say they bottom out this year and underachieve again, and the Browns brown like they typically do you go quarterback again if you have opportunity?
Man, you might have to.
You might have to.
Hey, Mike, I'll tell you this. This is why I said you can't get rid of the owner. And I told you yesterday, growing up in Northeast Ohio, grew up in Akron, Ohio, shout out Moeller Avenue, West Side. All right. So I grew up there, and I knew the whole history of the franchise. You think about this. This is hard to do. Art Modell, this is on his resume. Art Modell fired Paul Brown, Bill Belichick, and Marty Schottenheimer.
Wow.
Come on. And so all those guys, obviously Paul Brown was successful. Bill Belichick was on his way. Marty Schottenheimer did the job, you know, the drive, the fumble, all that stuff. You can be successful even with the bum owner. And I think they got a bum owner right now. So you got to work around him. First thing I do, if I'm a commodity that the Browns want to hire, I'm asking for an unprecedented 7-year contract. I need a 7-year contract. Don't mess with me.
All that means is you got a lot of money coming to you when they fire you. That's all that really means.
No. 7-year
contracts don't matter to them.
If you fire me, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna make it hurt for you.
That's good negotiating.
Then I asked Joe Thomas to come out of retirement. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So then the other thing I would do is I need somebody who's gonna talk to the owner. I need like a CEO type to keep him away from me. Because I think you've identified the major problem with the Browns. Like I said, NFL, the talent is so close. The best team in the league and the worst team in the league, there is not this huge gap in talent between a 5-win team and a 12-win team. Sometimes it's just organization. Sometimes it's just stability. I need somebody to stay away from me. I need that owner to stay away from me so I can just do my thing.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.